Hello.
Well, hello there.
And I'm Miss Floyd.
And I'm Dr. Milks, and we are here on behalf of the science department to teach you a little bit about the solar eclipse that's coming up, what you can expect, tips and tricks, and what definitely 100% not to do.
So your first question is, why was I given glasses and do I have to wear them? And the answer is yes, you have to wear them almost the entire time. You may remember about 6 or 7 years ago, we had a partial eclipse here, and you had to wear these the whole entire time then because it was partial, but this time we have a total. So here's what you need to know. From the time the partial eclipse begins, actually before it begins, you can never safely look at the sun, ever, under any circumstance. You can never safely look at the sun. So if you look at the sun with these eclipse glasses on, you're gonna be able to see the sun safely because these have really thick coating to filter out ultraviolet light. So you're gonna put these on. The partial eclipse begins around 1:30-ish, I believe, on Monday, April 8th. And you're gonna wear these the entire time in the partial eclipse. Obviously, you can take them off if you're not looking at the sun. At 3:04 p.m., you're gonna have these on, you're gonna be looking up, and all of a sudden, it's gonna be as dark as me looking at you now. You're not gonna see anything. When you can't see anything through these glasses, now you know it is the total eclipse. The moon is completely in front of the sun, and for once, for 4 minutes, it is actually safe to take your glasses off and look at that sun. You should be able to see the sun's corona around the moon, and it should be amazing. It'll be twilight outside. What's really going to be amazing with a total eclipse is that you should have a 360-degree twilight around you. You should actually be able to see stars.
Yes, so to be clear, it's going to turn blue velvet like nighttime in a clear sky. Animals that are usually nocturnal or crepuscular will start doing those activities as on the way to the total eclipse, on the way out of the total eclipse. The temperature is going to change because we'll be getting less solar radiation in this area. It's going to be really incredible.
So you've got 4 minutes here in Bloomington to live it up, because at the end of that 4 minutes, glasses back on. If you even begin to feel like it's getting a little bit brighter, put those glasses back on. If you put those glasses on and you can see a sliver of the sun, you know that you're not in total anymore. You're back to partial, and you still have another hour and 15, 20 minutes of partial to enjoy with your glasses on. So I'm here to tell you, you got 4 minutes, and that's actually a really big deal. Bloomington is right along the center of the path of totality, which is super exciting, and we have one of the longest viewing stretches of totality anywhere in the United States. So that's a very exciting thing. Before I stop, I just want to remind you about eye safety. You can get damage in your eye from ultraviolet light. I brought my eye model.
Ms. Floyd, there have been articles in newspapers and publications in the last couple weeks showing the images of people's retinas, I believe, and you can see the damage from the crescent of the sun because they were looking at the sun during
It is permanent, and it will never heal. So if you're not familiar with an eye model, at the very front you have the cornea, and the light rays travel through your cornea first. I'm going to go ahead and open up this top, and you can see that the light will travel through the cornea, through the pupil, and through several different fluids. Let me kind of take this apart. And the light will eventually go back and hit what's called the retina. The retina is the orange on the back of the eye. If you look at the sun anytime, but you're more tempted to during an eclipse since it's getting darker outside and you're not sure if it's okay or not, if you look directly at the sun anytime, it will burn the image of the sun into your retina. It is permanent. Those are neurons. They do not replace themselves.
And you won't feel pain. The reason we're here talking to you about it is because that type of exposure, you won't know it's happening until the damage has already been done. It's not like a hot stove where most of us have a reflex.
Yeah. So you've been given a pair for yourself. Make sure everyone that you are with has these glasses. We have lots of extras. They're in grocery stores and everywhere else. You only have 4 minutes where you don't have to have these on, and you know it's time because you're looking through here at the partial, and all of a sudden you can't see the sun sliver anymore. So when this goes dark, it's safe for about 4 minutes.
So what are some other things you can do to take a look at this event, especially if you're passing glasses around between people? One of the easiest things you can do is take a note card and to pinhole a hole through it, and then you'll be able to focus an image of the sun. It's going to look to you like the phases of the moon, because that is what it looks like when we get partial shading of things. So if there were a lot of leaves on trees here, we'd tell you it's really cool to stand underneath a tree, because pinholes are formed in between the leaves, and you'll see that pattern on the ground. But it's April, and so a lot of trees aren't fully leafed yet. Enter our friend, the colander. So if you have something like this, you can take it outside with your family's permission and washed. But it turns out that these holes will do the same job, and so you'll be able to see a large pattern of the partial eclipse in that moment.
Do it across a driveway where the concrete's kind of light, where you'll see some nice light and dark differences. It won't work so great on grass.
It's true.
Right.
It's true.
What about people coming to Bloomington? What do you have to say about that?
Gosh. We are expecting, if the skies are clear, up to 300,000 extra people in Monroe County, because we are a wonderful place to come and visit, and a lot of people have spent time here for various reasons. We expect that many people might mean for some really slow cell service. So if you are someone who uses your cell phone on cellular, we do anticipate that while people are here that weekend, it might be kind of challenging. Many places will be closed. The parking garages across Bloomington and IU are closed for this event, but there are lots of places to go to be with people in community who are seeing the eclipse. Wonder Lab is running an event. Switchyard Park, I believe, is running an event, and there's a paid event at IU where they think people are going to take up the whole football stadium.
So I want to say the best place to see the eclipse here in Bloomington is right at home. Like, if you don't want to deal with traffic, personally, I'm not leaving my house on Monday. I'm having a block party on my street, right? So we're all going to be out there with our colanders and our solar eclipse glasses, having a nice time. I think I'm going to make some eclipse cookies where I do like a chocolate and vanilla cookie, and I do chocolate on the inside and vanilla on the out, like the sun's corona showing around. I think that'll be fun. Fun to share.
Last thing, some people were worried about their pets in my class. So I just wanted to point out that your pets do not look at the sun. And so is the eclipse safe? As long as there's not a whole bunch of disruption or patterns at your house that are really different, everybody should be okay.
Pets aren't going to care. But wild animals will. It'll be really, I do want to say one last thing. Scientists are so excited about studying the eclipse because it gives an opportunity to see what our plants and animals and other living organisms doing during this time, which is so incredibly unusual.
Yeah, and we won't be able to see them, right? Cameras won't catch that behavior. And so NASA has sent out recorders for people to put in all different types of areas along the entire path of the eclipse, so we can backtrack and think about animal behavior because of vocalization and noises that animals will make or might not be making that are different.
On that note, I want to say that NASA has an amazing website. So if you want more information about safety or viewing or anything else, go to the NASA website, and they've got tons of great information about safely viewing the eclipse and having a maximum experience for this once every 375-year event. Statistically, each place on the Earth only gets a total eclipse once every 375 years. And it's going to be another 20 years before we have one even touch the United States, I believe.
Let's put our glasses on.
Okay. Thanks for listening.
Have a great eclipse day.